we have what we call the Belt and Road Initiative, which focuses on infrastructure development across the world, that is Africa, Asia, and America. And then, of course, following that, China introduced what we call the Global Security Initiative, which sought to lay out some new strategies and approach that the world can leverage on to build peace and stability. And then recently this year, we introduced what we call the Global Civilization Initiative, the purpose of which we organize this. Now, the key part of this Global Civilization Initiative, it's about, first of all, appreciating the fact that the whole world, we all have different levels of civilization. The civilization of China is different from that of Africa. In fact, in Africa, the civilization of Ghana is different from that of South Africa, different from that of Mauritius, and that of Egypt. But in all of this, we can actually harness the difference in our civilization so that we can, first of all, understand each other's civilization. Because when you do not appreciate the other's civilization journey, because the modernization of each country, how they are developing, how they are transforming, you can trace it back to their pre-existing civilization journey. Right? So if you first of all decide to ignore the civilization journey of any country in the world, it assumes that you are directly going to impose your way of thinking on that country. And that is where we see the level of friction that we are seeing around the world. So this proposal from China seeks to re-echo some of the tenets that we all appreciate that can bring peace and stability, right? Which is appreciating each other's differences, creating a platform for more dialogue instead of confrontation, okay, and seeing that respecting someone's civilization journey is a way of building peace and stability. And that is what we need now. I mean, look around the world today. We are still dealing with issue about climate change, right? Where countries are asking that we do not even contribute more to the global warming. We are being asked to even pay more, right? More industrialized countries, those that have contributed more to what we are witnessing today in terms of climate crisis, are not, right? So we have to factor in the fact that these developing countries also have a voice, and irrespective of their civilization, irrespective of their background, they have to be heard, and that's what we are seeing around the world. So this policy initiative of China, it's welcoming, and it's not in isolation. It's not something that we've not seen before, heard before. That when we dialogue, it's more good or better than picking arms, which you've seen around the world. We all know the instability in some part of the world. You could talk about the Middle East, even in Africa. We talk about even now instability in Sudan. If there has been a way of dialogue and communication where we appreciate and understand each other's, differences, we would have been able to ensure that we stabilize our countries and our world today. So for me and for us as ACCPA, what we are trying to do is to create multiple platforms. In fact, we've done publication on the GCI from different angles, and that is why we created this platform, this forum, where we're bringing these experts, these policy experts, these international political experts, to share their perspective on how, as a continent of Africa, as we seek to bridge our own differences, ensure that we can respectfully understand each other and appreciate the differences, we can build a stable and peaceful continent.
Okay, glamorous agenda or the lofty agenda is to attain global peace. And peace comes with what? Advancement for mankind. All the affiliate bodies identify key areas of socio-cultural or human development. You understand? Out of this, over the years, Africa really led our way in the early 60s with the Organization of African Unity after American countries attained independence. And it seeks to attain the same aim of continental unity in respect of political, socio-economic development, etc. We couldn't get far, then we then went in the 70s until now, sub-regional bodies like SADC, East African Economic Community, that became defunct. Then we have ECOWAS since 1975. So my general view is that anything that has not contradicts the global establishment's agenda, that is global peace and development, is most welcome. And in Africa, over the last 2 decades, you've had the Africa-Turkey relationship. Brazil came in when Lula, the current president, when he was president some 10 years ago, also had the Brazil Africa Initiative. We've had the China Africa Initiative, India Africa Initiative. Why? Is it not what the African Union seeks to achieve? So I would say any agenda or any initiative that seeks to attain the lofty objective of the UN, I wouldn't see it as a contradictory or a counter initiative. And that's the way we have to see it. Now, there is this question, if you want to comment on it, brings out a whole range of conversation. The economic facts or the figures are there. You see, China's contribution to Africa, indeed, if you ask yourself, if you have a partner, 1.4 billion people, the population is more than Africa's population. I always make this anecdote that if House of Oak and Accra or Ghana is playing China and we share the ticket for the match in terms of population, 50,000, 60,000 capacity, 50,000 with the Chinese people based on sheer population, and 10,000 with the Ghanaian, those who cheer the Black Stars. So if you have a country of this, that's about 1/4 the size of Africa, right, having more than 2 times the population of Africa, and managing its affairs in a manner that it will tap its resources and create this wealth to give so much to another continent without what we used to call gunboat diplomacy. America, since the Second World War, has intervened globally in over 69 countries. And between 45 and 1990, during the era of the Cold War, you can say America, the leader of the free world that you see, NATO, was to make sure they check communist advancement. But after the tour of the Cold War from 1990, America has still been intervening in countries. What have been the consequences? Gaddafi was eliminated. Is Libya free or is Libya peaceful? During the 1980 to 1988 Iraq Iraq, Saddam Hussein was an ally. Saddam is no longer alive. Is Iraq peaceful? America had Daniel Noriega, then the Panama dictator, as his ally. Then he tried to assert himself. They had to go and arrest him. He's in jail in the US. I doubt whether he will release since the early 90s. America intervened or to look on in Somalia since 94. Somalia had never had a government. You understand? And so if you relate gunboat diplomacy and the consequence of it, and even economic contribution, you begin to wonder. When President Bush visited Ghana at the time of President Ford, he indicated that America's contribution to Sub-Saharan Africa annually did not exceed $20 million. Of course, we appreciate the contribution to the N1 highway and some of the Millennium Development Authority initiatives and the support that they give in Ghana. But as far as I can see, if you look at the records, China's, on the face of it, with an unbiased mind, China's global involvement in war, people have a big trend. You see, in the 60s it was a border issue with the Soviet Union.
And just as it was said by the panelists, it's just the beginning of the many things to come. I'm really, really impressed, especially with all the things and the confusion surrounding China. I mean, anytime you mention China, everybody raises eyebrows. I think this is a good one, and I believe that as they continue to do that, people would be enlightened, and all the negatives that we kind of have cultivated when it comes to China-Ghana relationship, I mean, we'll all be nipped in the bud. So this is great. I have really enjoyed it, and I think it's a good one. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.